Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today we're going to be making cards for envelopes that you just have laying around. So I had a bunch of colored envelopes, and I'm sizing them and seeing how to make cards for them. Okay, so I found these yellow envelopes here, and they are 3 3/4 by 6 1/2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make cards for it. So what I did was I took 1/4 inch off of the 3 3/4, which gave me 3 1/2, and 1/4 inch off the 6 1/2, which gave me 6 1/4. But I needed to double the 3 1/2 so we could fold it over for the card. So that gives me 7 inches. So my cards need to be 7 inches by 6 1/4 inches. And then the inserts and the fronts need to be 3 1/4 inches by 6 inches. And you can get one card with the inserts out of one 12 by 12 sheet. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this down to 7 inches. So right there I have it lined up to 7 inches, making sure that it's even with this right here. Cut that and set that aside, and now I need 6 1/4 inch. So again, this, if you lean it against that, it's not always against this, so you need to make sure you get it against this right here. So I got it at 6 1/4, and we're going to cut that. That's going to be our card base. Now we need our outside piece and our inside piece, and they're both the same size, so 3 1/4, which we're going to take off this piece that we had left over, and then we're going to cut it at 6 inches, so that would give us our two pieces. So we have our two pieces, and we have our card base. So the next thing we want to do is fold our card base. And I want my solid portion, because this is double-sided paper, and for this, that's what you want to use unless you want to make up your own. So I am going to fold it so the decorated part is on the inside. So we have our 7 inches up here and our 6 1/4 down here. 6 1/4 down here, or 7 here. And we just want to fold this in half. Once we get it folded in half, we can burnish it with our bone, and that is that portion. So the next thing we want to do, and this is optional, I just think it looks a little bit better, is take your two pieces, and I have one with a solid side up and one with a decorated side up, and I'm just going to clip the ends. Now this is the, and you only want to do one side. This is the smaller one. I'm not sure where I got it. I've had it for years. So I have a small and a large. Is it large? Yeah, and a large. So the large is probably 1/2 inch, and this one's probably 1/4 inch or something like that. And now I'm going to do the card edge. So I have it folded over, and it'll cut both of them at the same time. So we have that. Now, what I want to do is attach this to the inside for people to write on. So I have this glue here, Art Glitter Glue. It dries clear, but I put it, it came with 3 little bottles, so with a very fine tip, and I just have a pin in there. And this glue is amazing, because in this bottle with this teeny tiny tip, you're only going to use a very small amount of glue. And you know how sometimes if you use too much glue, your paper is going to warp up and feel damp and all like that? Well, with this tip, it doesn't happen. So the glue is a little pricey, But if you get it with bottles with these tips, you're not using much glue at all. I mean, I've glued a bunch of cards and stuff, and I only filled it up to about right here, and I have about this much right here left over so far, and I've been using it a lot. So there's the inside of our card, and we could set that aside. And the next thing I want to do is bring out my Cuttlebug. So here's my Cuttlebug, and it's an old one. I've had it for years. As you can see, the handle knob has broken off. I don't know what happened to it. And I'm just going to press down the trays, and then you have your, let me put the pin in the glue. So you have your A plate, then you have your two B plates. So what you do is you lay one of the B plates on top of the A plate, and then you have your folder. So you want to place your paper in your folder and line it up the way you want it. You want to make sure it's straight, or as straight as possible. I marked mine the top so that I would know that the impression is up. Like if you roll your fingers over it, these are up, not down. So they are, what do you call it? Embossed, not debossed. So then you put your other A on top, and then you just slide it in there, and then you're going to move your handle. Now, this is a little more difficult for me because the knob is gone, but it's still workable. I don't need to buy a new one. I wouldn't do that anyway. But like I said, it still works. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to use it. So there's that. We're done with the Cuttlebug. I'm going to put this up. So now we're going to remove our top B. We're going to open our folder and see what we have. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And here's the back of it. This is debossed, the debossed side because it's impressed into it. And this one is embossed because it's coming up. So that is the front of our card. And we're going to use our glue again, which this is just a regular stick pin. And you just put it in there if you're not done with your glue, but you're not using it right now, and it'll keep it unclogged. And then this tip allows you to get the thinnest line of glue that I have ever seen. Now, I just got this glue yesterday. I ordered it off of Amazon, and I really like it. It is thin enough that it'll go in this bottle that comes with it if you get the kit, which I got 8 ounces of the glue with 3 of these bottles, empty bottles with the 3 tips. It had 3 of these in there, and then it had 3 little funnels. And those were, the total of all that was 20 bucks. And you know, I don't like paying 20 bucks for glue, but let me tell you, it's going to last a long time because of these tips on these bottles and the small amount of glue that comes out of it, but works. I mean, it really works. I mean, if I were to try to pull this up, it gives you a little bit of working time, but not much. See that? It's already sticking down. You can move it if you have to, but it dries pretty quickly and it sticks on there really well. So this is our card, and this is our envelope. So I started out with the envelope, and I had a bunch of them in different colors, and I thought, you know what, I should make some cards to go with my envelopes. So I've had these envelopes for quite a while. I guess they went with the stationery kit or something like that. But I wanted to use them and make cards for them. So this is just a note card. If you wanted to put something in there, you could. If you wanted to put something else, an additional something on the front here, you could do that. You could even make it stand out with your foam dots or whatever. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And as you can see, it fits right in to my envelope. And this just takes a regular stamp because it's a regular envelope. So if you have a bunch of envelopes and you don't have any cards to go in them, then I would suggest you figure it out and make you some. So the way I figured it out was, and I think I told you this at the beginning, but I'll reiterate it, is my envelopes I measured and they're 3 3/4 this way and then 6.5 inches this way. So I wanted to find out how big cardstock I needed for my card base. So what I did was, because typically what you can do is take 1/4 of an inch off of something and that will give you the amount you need to make it fit. So you see how this has just a little bit on each side where it'll fit in the envelope. So it fits in there real nice. So I took 1/4 of an inch off the 3 3/4, which made it 3.5. And then I took 1/4 inch off the 6.5, which made it 6 1/4. So the 6 1/4 I brought down, and that's this way right here, 6 1/4. And then I doubled the 3.5 to get 7 because you're going to fold the card over. You're going to fold the cardstock over. So to make it 3.5. And then the inserts, you want them to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than your sizes here. So 1/4 of an inch smaller than 6 is 6 1/4 is 6. And then your 3.5 that you doubled to get 7, you take 1/4 off is 3 1/4. So the inside and the outside pieces, this right here and this right here, are 3 1/4 by 6 inches. And that's all there is to it. So if you have any old envelopes laying around, square ones, or, sometimes you get those cards in the mail and you don't know what to do with them, and they usually come with envelopes. Well, let me tell you, you can turn those envelopes into, well, you don't turn the envelopes into it. I'm sorry, I misspoke on that. But what you can do is make your own cards. If you don't like the cards that they send you and you don't want to send those out, then you can make your own cards to fit those envelopes. And I think that's what I'll do too. I forgot about those envelopes that go with those cards, and I have a ton of them. So I will probably do that also. So let me just show you a few of the other ones that I made. So I have these green ones here. They have leaves on them. So like that. And I had these green envelopes, so that's why I went with the green. And then I have these purple ones, so they have lines on them. You open them up. And there's my envelopes for those. And then I have 2 different sets of pink ones. I have a darker pink and a lighter pink. Same thing. This is the same paper. And this paper is probably 65-pound cardstock. So there's that one, and then here's this one. And again, I rounded the edges. You can do whatever you want with that. You can leave them as they were. I just thought the rounded edges look nice. So that is it. Very simple, very easy. If you have envelopes laying around and you don't have cards for them. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. I know it's been a while since I put a video out on YouTube, but I've been doing more along the lines of paper crafts, and I've just been making stuff. I haven't been filming anything. So let me know if you want to see more paper crafts, and I'll put some more. I'll try to get some more videos together and put that out there for you. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, think about doing so. And you can always share my videos with others that you think might like the content that I bring to you from YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.